Hey, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Mona Lisa. And this is a special edition because I know y'all wondering, like, what are you doing now? I'm always doing something. But check it out. We are definitely launching the Eve Jean podcast right now. And I couldn't do it. I could not do it without my co-host and drum roll. My co-host, okay, hosting the Eve Jean with me, my daughter, the viral superstar, thousands and millions of subscribers, all these people, Miss Real Kaya. Hi!
Hello.
Welcome to the Real Kaya show. No, that's your show for real.
The viral. I mean, my Instagram name is starring Real Kaya because I'm just in my own movie. Like I'm waking up every day. It's a different episode.
I feel like it's an episode every day with us, right?
Yeah.
That's why we had to do this podcast.
Yeah, we had. I'm literally just going down to the deeper layers of who we truly are and just coming into our remembrance of what it means to be alive. Existing here. And I'm happy that we are doing this and we in this space to do it because it's been a long time coming with what you've experienced, so much of being on this planet in your time.
In my time and your...
In my time, like this is two different generations and like the same lineage and the same bloodline just changing. And
no, this is not the red table, y'all.
It's not.
No, we definitely going all the way deep, conscious, just all the way deep. And with this is definitely an episode where we're definitely going to be getting more into like the conscious world, but really, really explaining what the Eve Jean is. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
And by it being a Wednesday, it's Awakened Wednesday. Yeah. So this is...
Remember you used to do that.
You remember that?
Yeah. When I was a kid, y'all, my mom used to have this segment where it would be called Awakened Wednesday. She would have these different people from different religions or ways of life, and they would come in and talk about, like, their perspective and debate about things. And, like, now that it's crazy because we're doing this right now, we're talking about something that's deeper below the surface of the earth, deeper below the surface of our bodies and who we truly are and our mission here. So with you, because I'm like... You the one who, the first time I heard or the name, like you created a page called the Eve Jean.
Yeah.
And I want you to, in your words, what does that mean to you?
What does the Eve Jean mean to me?
Yes.
It's so deep. That's why I feel like this podcast, this series, it's going to take a couple episodes for us to really get into what it is. But I'm going to briefly kind of wheel you in a little bit because I know you've been watching me for a couple years. Like, Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are you going to do this or are you going to do that? It took me a minute to transform myself into who I really wanted to be. Mm-hmm. And for years, I've been doing research on the Eve Jean. So before I became Mona Lisa, which I changed my name, of course, everybody know me as Mo Lyric. So I'm Mo Lyric, this big star doing... I threw shows. I did like 250 shows in St. Louis. I was doing an open mic. Like, I became like the host of the year. And I knew I always had like the gift of talk, the ministry. Growing up in church, like I grew up in church. So I was always either following somebody's church or hopping to this church or hopping to that church. And in the midst of this whole thing, I've always been on this search for who I am. What religion I belong to. My search to find God. Yeah. That's been my goal. So even with the relationships I've been in, with the different businesses I've started or whatever church I joined, whatever group of people I joined, I've always wanted to find out more about me. Mm-hmm. And then it got deeper from me just trying to maybe find more about me to I start digging a little deeper into like being a woman, a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then when that happened, as I began to transform, I went through all this stuff, breakups, divorces, kids growing up, me losing my sense of who I am and trying to find myself all over again. As I transformed into Mona Lisa, the Eve Jean started off as like me getting ready to explain to everyone what the Eve Jean was. Like when I found out about us, when I found out about us being so potent, my bloodline being so potent, where it's the beginning of all bloodlines. And I started doing research on that. But as I was doing that, I was creating an album called The Eve Gene because I wanted to be a softer me. And it just went into more things. I became infatuated with finding out more information about the Eve Gene and what it really was.
Yeah.
So I transferred the page to the Eve Gene as I was getting ready to embark on telling everybody what I had discovered. And then it became something more from just an album to like a page. And then it's like, wait a minute, there's some history to this. And so I was like, one day I'm going to talk about it. But I was going through so much to where I was like, I'm transferring myself to Mona Lisa. I don't got time to be explaining to people what's going on with the Eve Gene, or maybe nobody would be interested into it.
Yeah.
But when I seen you blow up and you just constantly blowing up online, I knew that I was going to eventually have to talk about it.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here today, because I feel like faith brought us here so I can explain what it is. And then being that you're a scholar of information, you get to share that intimate moment with me, and then we get to share it with everybody else. So
Because we have so many conversations, like, and it just like I be realizing that anybody would want to be a fly on the wall, hearing the stuff that we talking about when it comes down to the spiritual gifts, when it comes down to us like really moving and walking in a path of enlightenment and like our own power, and just holding a lot of power and holding a lot of codes and remembrance of what we truly are and what it means to actually be holding the Eve Gene and carrying that in your blood. And like, I know there's a lot of people who went through an awakening in 2020, people who still, you know, but even before that, people who've been carrying these codes, this information, this surge of energy throughout their life that they could never understand. And like now it's coming to the surface, and that is the awakening. That's the prophecy. That's what the Eve Gene means to actually, well, to me, you know.
for you. I know, wait, let me ask you the question. You already know.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm so used to understanding, or just my experience with life and my time here, just me observing like the process of going to school, the process of like being, you know, what you would call in the matrix, and just shifting your mind into what, and uplifting that veil of what you've always felt inside, but you could not, there was no representation of what it is. Because it's like, it's this hidden legacy, this hidden lineage, and this hidden knowledge of information and codes inside of you that is not being embraced in your outer world. So you come to this planet, you come down in this space, and you recognize, and you're seeing like your surroundings, and you're seeing the environment and the state of the planet and the way it is, and being what you would call, other people call like aliens, or like your power is so potent, and you're trying to protect yourself, so you cloak yourself and you become a shell of who you really are. And that's what my journey with myself like comes into, because I feel like my childhood, me all the way up until 18, I just became a shell, because I recognized that I'm not, the environment doesn't reflect who I am and the power that I know I hold. Because as a child, like, you was watching me meditate, I'm telling you, I want to open my chakras.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, I'm like, you know, where is God? Where is
to find you
the
like
angels?
folded up like in the middle of the floor with like candles around you, and I was like, what's possessing my baby? What is going on? Why is she like this? All the rest of the kids running around.
I was
playing
quiet.
outside.
I was a quiet kid. I was sweet. I was open to happiness, joy, and love. But when it comes down to anything else, I was very silent, very shy, very internalized.
Yeah.
I sat mostly inside of myself my entire life. And then when it came down to me expressing like my thoughts, my conspiracy theories, my perception on life and energy, and, you know, like, that wasn't my environment. Us being from St. Louis, Missouri, like, that place and that, like, just that area
alone.
you know, being there, it's like you literally are in, it's like a dip.
It's definitely a dip. If you go check out the landmass, St. Louis is sitting like in a You know, it's almost like a vortex.
Mhm.
That's why it's so hard to get up out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, even when I go visit, it's hard for me to get back out. I'd be like, y'all trying to keep me here. Get me out.
hmm So, like, me going to school and being in this environment where, like, a lot of people are lost, they're distorted, and they're only following what their environment is telling them. And I'm over here talking about, you know, the dinosaurs weren't killed by asteroids, dinosaurs were killed by aliens. And I'm over here like, I'm asking my history teacher, I'm like, okay, so why are you teaching me so much about slavery? What can you tell me about what happened before that? Can you tell me, like, I'm asking questions about human design and what's going on with the earth and why is the planet the way it is and why are we at this state of consciousness? It does, like, I'm talking on a way different level than my environment is. So I didn't have no space where I could relate or communicate to anybody about what was going on inside of me. And that led to me, like, you know, me being a shell inside of myself of what I truly, like, was holding in me.
Yeah.
I finally was able to open myself up and I started to speak and I created my TikTok.
When
And-
you open yourself up and you decided to speak, baby, you spoke.
Yeah. I was like, I didn't even know, like, I had all of this inside of me because I was spent so long in just trying to survive. And so did you. You know, just listening to your childhood, listening to how you grew up and the environment that you were in, being in zombie land, basically what it, like, you, and just both my dad and you, like, both of y'all growing up in St. Louis, which is one of the most dangerous cities to live in.
Dangerous, ain't they?
Very, very dangerous.
You
And
be
nobody
sitting at a light, they
not-
pulling up with 30-round clips on you.
Not a lot of people make it out.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people make it out. So being a part of holding these codes and the frequency of love and remembrance and, like, the real of who we truly are, where we come from, why we are the way we are, like, just holding all of the remembrance of what we are throughout all of that darkness, throughout all of that pressure, like, and coming out of that and not losing yourself, because a lot of people crack under pressure. And that's what it means for me with the Eve gene, because it's like you still holding this line. You still have these activations and these codes, no matter how much the world has beat up on you, no matter how much things have, like, the life has, like, tried to compress you and push you down.
Yeah.
You still
rise.
you know, you still rise, you still hold that. So, like, I'm so, excuse me, y'all.
Watched it.
Yeah, you know, excuse me, like, y'all, I'm so used to, like, you know, having my notes, speaking, like, you know, just having my
This is
own way of
definitely different
recording.
for
It's a
you.
different, yeah, like, it's a different thing for me. So, like, I want y'all to get to know me, but I also have things that I want to make sure that I say. And, like, this is my first time, like, speaking on a podcast, and I'm so glad that I'm doing this. But, you know, I just, like, when I got my little tablet out, I'm making sure that I'm covering the points that I want to cover that is really important for me in this podcast to listen to hear. Okay, so I want y'all to, like, understand what this means for both of us and just anybody who's listening out there. Like, today, and even just what this podcast means, diving deep into something that's been hidden from us from ages, like the truth of the origins of humanity, the primordial earth beings, and how it all connects to the stories that, and the things that we're seeing, the films that we're seeing right now. The biggest one I want to talk about is Avatar, and even the Bible, because that's where we're coming from
We
with
about to get
the Eve
into
gene.
it.
If you've ever, so for those out there, if you ever wondered who we really are, if you've had this knowing on the inside of yourself that you just can't explain to nobody, and, like, the way your gifts, your intuition, everything just comes alive so much in your vibrant energy. You know, this is where I'm about to, like, go into my notes and everything that makes sense to me. You know, like, where we come from, why there's so much confusion around God and creation. This episode is for you. Okay? I'm not gonna say that I know everything. I'm not trying to tell you what to believe or who to believe or where to go. But, you know, this is just a conversation that might spark some type of, you know, understanding and translation of what's really going on inside internally and in your body and your genes that you can't explain, but you know it's there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a hidden, forgotten, thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was talking about Avatar, and I was thinking about Pandora in Avatar, okay, and this is where the Eve gene comes in because the being Awa, okay? Awa wasn't just a god that they worshipped. She was the planet. She lived in the trees. She lived in the animals, the people, the whole ecosystem. That's the same like as what I call the primordial woman, the Eve gene, the original ones who knew, who like became the first
Right.
the primordial earth beings.
Originals.
Yeah. So Awa, like, she was not a mythical lady. She was the original gene of Pandora itself. And that's what the Eve gene represents. That's what the first represent. Like, all possible life forms that already existed. So every race, every being, every genotype on this planet all comes from that original primordial essence. So do you remember basically like, okay, now I'm getting like, my brain is kind of like going into translating what's going on inside my head.
Are you looking for a softer way to say things?
Yeah, I always try to,
Because we're not doing that on this
break it down.
podcast. I want you to be like all the way open with everything you feeling. Like, just say it. Like, if and also let's put our disclaimer out there. This is for entertainment purposes only. Entertainment purposes only.
For entertainment.
Okay.
purposes only.
'Cause look, we just going over stuff that we picked up. So if you don't like nothing we saying, so no, we do like the comments. So comment below if you following what we're saying. Okay, so you said you were speaking about the Avatar.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
speaking about the Avatar, and okay, when you pay attention to the movie, when you pay attention to what, like, I don't know, for some reason, the movie, the Avatar, every time I watch it, I always get emotional. I get upset. Like, it's like a strong, deep feeling.
Why do you feel like
in
you
that
feel
film.
that though?
Because I feel like I get that way, and like it activated so much in me because it reminds me of the gene in my body,
Right.
the codes in my body, and like what was forgotten.
Yeah.
Because when you pay attention to them, like, just like when you pay attention to them being so connected to Awa, them being so connected to their mother,
Mm-hmm.
Awa lives in all of them.
Mm-hmm. And when you say
And
Awa, what is Awa again?
The Eve,
The Eve,
the mother, the one,
mother,
the
one that
earth.
created Earth, or is it the mother of the, like, is it their mother or is it just the energy?
Their mother, the energy. It's everything. It's the whole
Everything.
planet. It's the celestial.
So it's a
What it means to be on the celestial, because a lot of people say that God created the humans. Okay, that's somebody else's story,
Mm-hmm.
because the original, you come from your mother.
Right.
You come from your mother, and they're saying that this planet it's said that this planet, Mother Nature,
Yeah.
we came from our mother. We came from this planet.
Yeah.
That's what it means to be the originals, the ones who actually came from the earth. And what happened in Avatar was that the Na'vi people who were connected, they had these gifts and these abilities to connect to the earth. Remember, like, they had everything was just set in stone. They had all the codes and the activations. And what happened? It was a bunch of scientists who came in, and they were messing with their DNA, and they made replicas, and they made clones, so they can inhabit the bodies of the Na'vi people,
Right.
and then run around with them and procreate with them and try to, do all of that.
Do you think that's connected to like what was done to women?
That's connected to what was done to the original Eve gene.
Mm-hmm. So you think, because when we talk about the Eve gene, you go look it up. It's a gene that's in every human, right?
Yeah.
right? Okay. And that's why we say the mother, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being with this, with that being the avatar, them being able to go in and mess with the DNA and play scientist, you get what I'm saying? Do you think this has been done on all levels in every area when it comes to like humans? So I feel with me and how I feel how deep the Eve gene goes is more of people understanding that the woman whole essence or like her importance has been stripped out of history
Yeah.
when it's the most important thing that has always been. You get what I'm saying? I feel like everything that's always been like hidden or super important, has been it's more of like we can't let this get out because if they know their strength, if they know where they come from, then they'll know the magic they have.
Yeah.
Then they're able to.
They'll know the power. They'll remember who they are, why they're here. They'll remember every single thing that was forgotten. And that's when you pay attention to the story of the people who were blacked out, because we're called black people.
Right.
Because we are blacked out of history. We are blacked out of knowing who we truly are, knowing where, like, our story.
Yeah.
We were told everything. Like, all of that, it still causes, frustration because you're blacked out. You don't have no lineage. You don't have no culture. You don't have, like...
You have to go find it.
You have to go find it. It's something that's hidden.
Yeah.
So, like, this hidden light, this hidden...
the hidden secret gene.
Yeah.
It's more like, why would you hide something so important to us? Because I think every woman should really understand where they come from and how important it is for them to understand the essence they carry travels beyond just like, oh yeah, I'm a woman, I'm a feminine divine. No, this travels into the children that you're bearing. This travels into the people that it's like, I look at you and I think about me doing the research I did when I was pregnant with you. I read I read Metu. I read the Holy Tablets. I was deep into religion. I was deep into finding out about the whole universe and what was going on. So when I think about being a woman, I think about how important it is for us as women to embrace the divine feminine energy that we carry, which is the beginning of all, right? So I'm thinking that the more it's sad that you feel so you're kind of scared to speak up. Like, as women, we've always been scared to speak up because it's our memory. It's our epigenetic memory that has caused us to be scared of speaking, because that's what the compression is. That's what the separation is. That's what you descending into and separating shards of yourself, because everything that has happened and what history has told you is that we will crucify you if you reveal anything. If you embody your Christ consciousness, your Christos, if you have any type of activations, the history and religion, the main religion that is given to us, is telling us that you must obey. Mm-hmm. You must obey. Yeah. And we still remember that from past lives. Even though we don't have the memory of what happened in our past lives, our energy remembers that we're not safe. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You trying to speak up, you trying to change, you trying to, like, we remember what happened with the temples when they fell. We remember everything that shedded us and sharded us and shattered us. And we've been underground picking up all of these pieces, understanding our roots, and now we're coming up to the surface. And that is what this whole awakening and this prophecy is of ourselves. Like, the reason why I'm bringing up Avatar, and even just the reference of what happened to the blacked out people, what they call us black. It's not even a nationality. We don't have a nationality. Black people.
We don't, like, we're called black people. Yeah. But when you pay attention to the story of what happened, the black people are a microcosm of what the fall of consciousness meant.
Okay, explain that. What you mean by that?
Basically,
the fall of
The
consciousness.
fall of consciousness at the beginning of the Eve gene. Everything, this planet was in such a beautiful state, and everybody had their, activations, and all of this was just such a beautiful place to be in.
Yeah.
And then you have these, when you up, what goes up must come down. So when you have all of this information and you have all of this light, and you understand the power that you hold, you want to further go deep into understanding what it means.
Yeah.
So when your consciousness is falling, when the great betrayal and everything happened, I'm just like,
it's so much.
Yeah, I'm trying to like
so many different things. There's so many layers to this whole discussion. This is why I said we're gonna have a series of it.
Yeah.
Because when you start thinking about it's the metaphysical part of it, and also the spiritual side of everything, how thin the veil is and how it's become for us now, all the information that we used to have, like all the information that's been out there that we didn't have access to because technology is increasing, we're able to go and fact check some stuff.
Yeah.
And then now we're not so scared to talk about it because now you can go fact check and say, okay, well, that doesn't make sense. Just like when you think about, like, okay, in the beginning, we've always had an issue with the fact that in the beginning, here you go. Okay, so woman was made from the man's rib to be a helpmate. Then you wonder,
that whole story was a story of a
I could have sworn
that's a lab story.
I mean,
you know that, right?
Don't
because
humans grow in the belly?
When you that's what I'm saying. The absence of the mother.
Yeah.
Of the
take that on away. We're gonna take away the fact that humans grow in the belly. We're gonna make you think that God just went and just, I'm gonna take you from the man's rib. Just taking the whole essence from the woman.
Yeah.
Again, you're deducting from what we are and how important we are, and that we carry the seed.
And they told us we cursed. Our blood is cursed.
Oh my God. What about when I was in church, and I was a churchgoer, that's why I started in church. I went to every church I could find. Like, I literally went to Pentecostal, Baptist, any church I could find because I was looking for God, right? Now, me not knowing that what I was looking for was within myself and that the temple was my body, I was looking for this same information. I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, okay, so wait, this is not making sense. You telling me I was created from the rib of a man. But I could have sworn when I go in a hospital, and it confused me as a child, as a kid. You're trying to tell me, and I'm like, I know I believe in fairy tales and all that, but I'm also a fact checker. Like, I'm all into science too. I've always loved science and I've always loved math. So stuff has to make sense. A plus B equals C. So when you go back and you talk about things that may have been done that was so like fairy tale-ish, or even like a story that's been told to me, it still has to make sense scientifically to me.
Because it's a shard of the truth.
Yeah.
They're telling their story. They're not telling our story. It's hidden.
Yeah.
It's always been this feeling that you feel in your gut, and something not right. That doesn't make sense, or it's not adding up, because like why would I be cursed for
Yeah, you cursed like what was the okay? Let's just go through this right quick while we got time, because I want to talk about this. How is it that, okay, and I was told this, and then a lot of people like, where you hear this at? They were like, well, when I was religious, I used to hear, hell is in the shape of a woman. Do you know how scorned I was after I heard that? Do you know how scorned I was when they made me believe that the whole world was messed up because I convinced a man to eat an apple?
Yeah.
Do you know how mentally disturbed I was as a little innocent kid? And I was made to believe that I ruined the whole world, or somebody before me ruined the whole world. And that's the reason why we bleed. And that's the reason why the world is messed up. It's because you women convinced the man to go and eat an apple. You see what I'm saying? And
it's all about the programming. Think about what that does to your psyche.
Yeah.
It suppresses your intuition and your own power of yourself.
Yeah.
Because, like, we've already experienced the matriarchy. The patriarchy wants to be experienced.
Yeah.
And now we have all of these, like, we've seen the matriarchy, we've seen the patriarchy, we know it's falling and it's coming together. And what's coming together is the wholeness, the understanding of what the purpose is.
Yeah.
So, like, the most, like, important thing for me and what I want y'all to recognize with this podcast is coming into the wholeness of what you are,
Yeah.
and understanding that the ones who have been carrying these codes, this line that's never severed, this the mother,
Yeah.
because a lot of people forgot the mother.
Why is it that like that though? They say
You pray
pray
to
with
a man. You pray
it's
to
the
a God
Father,
of
the
masculine
Son,
energy.
and the Holy Ghost.
You don't
That's the
pray to
Trinity,
your mother.
right?
You forgot about your mother because she's been hidden, and that's what that power is.
Yeah.
That's what that what's been forgotten.
Yeah.
So that's what our mission is with this podcast, telling stories, telling it our thoughts and our experiences, and like how we have been moving through this life,
Manipulated for real.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth, because if I knew who I was from the beginning, I probably wouldn't have disgraced myself with the men I dealt with the decisions I've made. If I knew that I was a queen, if I knew that I was this potent and that every decision I made was going to affect the rest of my child.
Even the name, even queen. Because I told you, I talked about this earlier yesterday with you. I was saying that
Queen.
It's two ways that it's said the same way, but it's spelled a different way. So the etymology of queen is whore.
What?
Yes.
Back it up. Now you just really got me. Say it again.
The etymology of queen is whore.
Where did you get this from? Now, okay, so you finna ruffle some feathers now, cause
I think it's like QAEN. It's spelled differently, but it's said the same way. So when you even just break down like how everything was separated and twisted in a way to where they know the truth. They know what's behind all of these words and the things that they've lied about and everything. Like,
right.
And when you take it to a higher perspective, it's everything that's happened to us, the humanity.
So you
all
have
us to remember who we are.
Queen in a minute. Like they gonna be like, wait a minute, hold up.
What's the etymology? When you look up the etymology of queen, it's two ways you could spell it. It's the QAEN. I think I'm not.
You got your notepad on there. If you need to fact check,
let me fact check.
That's good, baby. She brought the notepad.
I did because I put it in my notes.
We've been saying that forever. We love to call ourselves queens. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean queen? I literally had that moment where I didn't want. I hate that when someone I used to wake up to people be like, "Good morning, queen. Hey, queen. Shut up, because you don't treat me like one. You don't. No, it was like, okay, yeah. I don't feel very much like a queen. When they was like, Cat Williams was talking about like him feeling like a lion. Like I don't feel like a lion. I don't really feel like a queen. I don't feel like y'all treat me like that. So. Yeah, that's interesting.
So the word queen, QUEEN, does not mean whore, but it's separated linguistic related to QUEAN. It's an architect. This word, basically from Old English, that is spelled QUEAN, means whore.
Now, why would
impudent, a disreputable woman, a prostitute, a young unmarried woman or girl? It's said the same way, but it's spelled differently.
Right.
So that's
the trickery.
Mm-hmm.
It's the trickery.
I remember I was like that. Wow. And
all this fact checking I've been doing, like even with I'm in the beginning, because we just talking about the beginning right now. We just talking about the fact that we were like thrown into this. Oh, you got the scarlet letter. Y'all have a period every month. That's your curse and things like that. I did not tell y'all that. Like, I remember when that was told to me, because I grew up in a very religious home. And when I was told that the reason why I have a period every month is because it was a curse for me to bear pain, to have children, because of a woman convinced a man in the beginning of time to eat an apple. That doesn't make sense to me. Why would God punish every woman on earth from something somebody else did? It didn't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a fresh new baby on earth, here to enjoy this experience, and I come in with a scarlet letter and I didn't even do anything. It never made sense to me.
You're exposed to that, your decision to, okay, I'm going to accept this into myself because this is what I'm being told. This is what my environment is telling me.
Right.
So I'm going to lock codes inside of myself that I don't yet understand, but it's activated, but I'm going to lock it down because it's not safe right now.
Right.
And then years later, you have all of these different things coming up, these spiritual gifts, this knowing of your royalness, you know, of who you are.
And you still got to second guess it.
Because you buried it.
Yeah.
So when, like, you can't, this is the thing with being absent of the mother in the story.
Yeah.
Being absent of even praying to the mother and praying to the one who birthed you, the earth, your mother.
Just Father, Son, Holy Ghost, that's it.
You know?
No mother. What happened to mom? Mom just gonna get ripped out of him. No, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. And nothing against anybody that's religious, y'all. We not trying to make y'all, we shaking the table a little bit.
Yeah.
But we not trying to like make y'all feel some type of way. We just really want to discuss the things that nobody else is discussing, that everybody else is scared to discuss. Like things that I have always wondered are things that really made me uncomfortable as a woman coming up, even as like a teenager. I felt like the scar, like I was beneath people. And then also feeling like you're beneath men. I'm like, okay, I thought for a minute that we were equal. And then I was like, okay, no, you're under the man. And I'm like, okay, so where's my position? Because it seems like when I look up, most of the women are by themselves. So how is it that I'm under or anywhere when we're at a point where we're equal and we're equal now? And then you also have to think about it like this. This is another thing that really, really got me. Because we're talking about the beginning of everything.
Yeah.
When you start thinking about the fact that before you become a man in the mom's womb, you're actually a female.
Yeah.
Come on now.
This is what I'm saying. You are being told to ignore everything that life, existence is telling you. Who's giving life? Who's bringing the life here?
Yeah.
Woman. What are you when you're in the womb? You're a female.
You're a female.
You first start off as a female.
Yeah.
You don't start off as a man.
Yeah, you don't start off as a man, right? So
like
none of this is making sense.
This is what I'm saying, and that's what's been the story of our. Like we know, like it doesn't make sense, but we just gonna continue to listen to it because there's a veil over our eyes.
Yeah.
You know, like.
I think my moment of clarity came for me when I had when I got pregnant with you, because you're my firstborn. When I got pregnant with you, I told myself, I was doing research on classical music being played in the womb. And I told myself, I said, I'm going to try to give this child the go. Like every go I can give her, I'm going to try to give it to her. Because I didn't get the luxury of being breastfed. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even though that's something that I feel like every woman should be doing.
Why wouldn't, like, even that?
Yeah. But I just felt like I'm going to try this out and I'm going to do something different and I'm going to see how it works. I'm pretty sure that when I did put the classical music, like back then we had the wire headphones where it stretched, you know what I mean? And I would put it over my stomach and I would actually read with you. And that's something I noticed, that everything I did, it seemed like it came out of you. As I noticed you growing up and getting older and older, I realized that you were exactly how I was and how I thought when I was pregnant. You're intellectual, you're into books. I was very outspoken when I was pregnant with you. Like I was outspoken.
Because every child comes here with certain activations and a certain plan and mission and blueprint of what they came here to do.
Right.
When you're pregnant, what I've noticed with what you've told me and how your personality changed in different pregnancies.
Yeah, they did.
Like you saying that when you were pregnant with me, you were so interested in like classical music, frequencies, like spirituality. You were reading books to me. You were doing all of these different things to me.
I was
and then
like crazy.
When it came down to the next one who came, it was hot Cheetos. I want to eat everything.
Oh my God, I ate hot Cheetos like crazy. But I was very, very like dominant with her. She came out very dominant. Like, this is me. This is who I am. This is what I want.
Yeah. So like, man, it's just,
if that's so important, why wouldn't people put more emphasis on catering to the pregnant woman, knowing that this child is going to be developed based on how the thoughts of the mom?
Because there's a veil. This veil that's been over. It's like people come here and they have the veil lifted off of them, because every child that's coming here, okay, like we come here, and every time y'all come here, y'all are forgetting who y'all are, and y'all not like walking the blueprint of your own self and what you came here to do.
Yeah.
You're being succumbed to your environment. You're going beneath the surface, and you're not like in what you really came here to do, and you're getting lost. So then now we got to send people who are stronger. Now we got to send people who, with the certain activations, with the veil, with their eyes activated to see through all of this.
And to be strong enough.
And to be strong enough to be in this environment and know that you are beyond it and rising above that.
Yeah.
So, like, the kids and the children who are coming down here, who are being told by the people before them that this is the way life is, this is how you move, this is what happened to women, this is why you are cursed. They're giving you and telling you every single thing, but you have this knowing, and you're being brainwashed by all of what's before you.
Yeah.
But not what's within you.
Yeah.
Hey y'all. So I hope that y'all enjoyed the first 40 minutes of this podcast. If you want to watch the full version, all you have to do is literally just go to the Eve Jean podcast YouTube channel, and we stopped at 48, and you can just continue it from there. But I just wanted to like play a little bit of it for you. I was really only supposed to play like 20 minutes, but you know, it was just sounding so good. I was listening to it myself. I'm like, okay, hold on. It's about to be 40 minutes. But yeah, I just wanted to show y'all a little sneak peek of what's to come. If you want like the full episodes and you want to like support this new podcast more, you can go to the channel and, you know, subscribe. I'm working on creating the actual thing for it, so just bear with me. This is just like all new to me. So I'm grateful for y'all being in this live and just supporting us and listening to our conversation. I just want to say that I love you guys, and I'm so grateful to have like this support and just being able to just speak and use my voice, and you know, just give some encouragement to my mom, because she's just, you know, opening herself up more, and she's speaking now. You know, this whole time we've been having conversations in the kitchen, or like just talking to each other on the phone or in the room, and we just be talking about real deep stuff. And we was like, if somebody, like anybody else would want to be a fly on the wall listening to the conversations that we have. So we was like, we might as well just turn it into a podcast, sit down and just talk. And you know, this is just what it is. So if you want to find it, I mean, it's out on all platforms, on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And I'm working on getting it to other platforms, but the main ones, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. So if you guys want to continue to support us, support me and my mom and what we're doing for our bloodline, ourselves, you know, just communicating, being outspoken. So, yeah. The Eve Jean podcast, you can find the channel here. You just click on it, and here, bear with me. Here we are. This is the podcast, and yeah, so if you want to watch the rest of it, we stopped at 40 minutes, and you know, just wanted to say thank you, and I love you guys, and I will see you there. Let me know in the comments of this video what y'all want us to have further discussions about. If y'all have any questions that y'all want us to answer in the next episode, please put it under the Eve Jean podcast, the actual episode, the 1 hour and 11 minutes episode, not under this live. Just put it under that episode, so we can like answer y'all questions, or you know, just y'all can get to know us more. Yeah, so I love y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for watching.